The sun remains in Libra for another week, and you are feeling the warmth and reveling in that, Libra. Before we get to the middle card of the reading and your last couple of weeks in August, which the sun card is representing, I want to just take this back to the first couple of weeks of October. Somebody that you really care for, there's a very, very sweet connection in your life, Libra. This is a connection that sets you free. It's nothing that hinders you. I feel like somebody has been very encouraging of your endeavors. You have been really motivated towards pushing forward towards a goal. Now, this person doesn't have to be a fire sign that's giving you this extra oomph, or this relationship doesn't have to be with the fire sign, but somebody really believes in you, and it has given you a lot of courage in your undertakings. You may have recently kind of made a choice or a decision to move forward with a certain goal a little more seriously. It might have been a motivational push from somebody, a really tender-hearted connection in your life, somebody that knows you really well. You could have a past or a childhood connection with this person, or like some sort of even a family tie or family friend connection with this person. But people are very proud of you recently. You're proud of yourself. The Knight of Wands tells me that things have been happening quite rapidly for you recently, and like some of this has kind of been maybe even split-second decision making you're doing. I see you making decisions more recently. Some of them did come about by the looks of things with a decent amount of pace, and once you kind of made that snap decision, you kind of acted on it. There is a kind of theme coming up for me as the reading progresses of this kind of like acting really quickly on something a little more hastily, and then the Hermit reverses as we move on in this reading, and it talks about this like prudence, because like you're overly cautious about making a move on something, so it results in some sort of a delay. So we're going to clear up these cards, see how your decision went, see how that movement and action you've been taking, where is it going to go. By the looks of things as we move on to October, and we'll look at these cards together in just a moment, pull more from the deck and clear them up. There looks like in the month of October, so I'm putting this from around the 16th of October to the 31st, but the time and energy on this reading, like all, will be fluid. So just take what resonates, leave the rest. I'm seeing this as a present energy as you're listening, that you're realizing that some karmic debts have maybe been paid off now, and you're kind of like seeing rewards from your actions. And the kind of karma I'm seeing like being settled is you making a bolder move on something and being a bit braver, and like you have been very brave, very courageous. Like you're either standing up for something or fighting for something, or like definitely very motivated, action orientated towards that. Well, hey, look what unfolds when you do that. It seems like you're very much rewarded for your boldness. Fortune favors the bold or brave. I don't know. I love that saying, and I don't know which one it is, but I like them both. But this is also a pretty, okay, so astrologically we have Mars, Mercury, and the Sun in Libra right now. So at some point in September, October, Mars would have been transiting and conjoining your Sun in Libra at some point, okay? Different for everyone's birth chart, but what happens then is like, so the energy of Mars will then fuse with your Sun, and the energy of Mars is kind of like this doing and action, can result in like a little bit of like like the energy is more intense, right? It's more fiery, it's more fueled up. So that gave your Sun a little dose of like that gusto essentially, and you had maybe a bit more like not even clarity of purpose, but just like the energy to achieve your purpose or chase after some bigger goals, or like goals that were seemingly daunting beforehand. What else could be coming up? Quick note on the astrology. Do I have anything else? Oh yeah, your Sun, your birthday. That is when the Sun in the sky comes up and conjoins the Sun. So you have a solar return, a birthday. The Sun in the sky is back to the Sun in your birth chart. Sun, life force, life source. Don't know the difference between those two either, but like them both. Life source, life force. That is also something to do with your core essence, and your like destiny is in a way involved in that. So sometimes we can feel extremely sad on our birthday, extremely happy on our birthday, extremely lonely, extremely abundant, and it all depends on other transits that day. But nonetheless, it's always an energetic day for whatever reason, however that manifests, because it is an energetic day. The Sun and the Sun, big merge encouraging ball of energy to work with on that day. So around your birthday though, I feel like you're stepping out a little more, or you're just more sure of yourself, more aligned to your purpose, feeling a little more authentically you. And yeah, you're kind of, the sun is shining on you basically this month. There is a little drawback here. I'm seeing the Hermit reversed. So maybe this is if you're exiting Virgo season type of a time frame, so later September, October. I feel like you were acting then and now you're drawing back into yourself and you are overthinking probably at this point. Hermit reverses says thinking now is over, Libra. It's time to get into the world again, and thinking time is over. Continue the action seems to be like where this is going, unless for some reason we'll clear it up. It just seems better to withdraw, but I would see that more as a Hermit upright. I think the reversal here is you doing this and it may sabotage or delay your plans if you don't act quick or timely enough on them and overthink them, overplan, all of those analytical Hermit-like things to do. Okay, something comes up by the end of the month, like I'm putting this first week of November, that makes you feel a little guarded or needs to I don't know, reevaluate certain situations in your life that make you feel uneasy, or that like you kind of struggle. You can remain on top, but it's a constant battle for you to just keep on top of this. Like if you take your eye off this for like a week even, or a day, or I don't know, could be not checking your emails all day and they just are like seem hard to surmount then by the end of the day. Things like that. There's an area of your life I feel that you'll be reevaluating where those kind of themes ring through, like whether it's external competition, like beating you to your spot. It's triggering what I can see as more of a childhood wound in you, or you're kind of perhaps doing Five of Cups, Page of Cups. Some more emotional themes are coming up. Okay, so we will be in Scorpio season. Oh my gosh, dawning on me now how I didn't cop this before. Scorpio card is actually at the bottom of the deck. So, okay, the time where we felt the feelings in what the feelings actually are in Cancer season. By the time we get to the next bed of water and emotion, it will be Scorpio season then. Now it's time to psychologically analyze the feelings and kind of get to the depth of what it is. You might be doing some therapy by the end of the month where there's like more focus on your childhood or inner child wounding, or some sort of a wounding, disappointment, or even sort of a mourning or loss that you're still coming to terms with. That might be coming up a little more for you by the end of the month. I always like to see the Page of Cups as an indication that some more inner child work could be necessary or helpful for you, like whatever it was that you did as a kid. Like, okay, I used to sing as a kid. I sing around the house all the time, like, and it's because I loved doing it before. Like I would literally be singing ballads before, so I'm like singing all the time. That makes me feel like in touch with my inner child still. Like it's just something that's like costs you kind of nothing to do as well. Typically most kids like to do things that cost them nothing, and not necessarily, but what did you like to do when you were a kid? Be it dancing, singing, playing a board game, reading, some sort of a fantasy. Of course, I love to do that too, so I still do that. So yeah, okay, these are things that might be like helping you work out some wounding and like maybe be able to drop your guard a little bit more emotionally, or feel safe too. Why don't we look at these cards together and we will pull more to clarify. So we'll clear up the Six of Cups, Nine of Wands, and the Two of Wands in the past position. So let's put this roughly around the first 2 weeks of October. You got the push to do something, you had the energy to do something, you went and did it. Let's see, let's look at that right now. Okay, so you've got the Eight of Cups here. And you've got the Ace of Wands. Brilliant. And at the bottom of the deck, the Empress is here. So this was a very abundant time in your life, maybe, and gathering more traction, gathering more abundance, more resources, or just feeling blessed, basically. Yeah, just this feeling with the Empress is just feeling blessed. It's being able to be very present in the moment and express gratitude very easily, and like just bring yourself to smile really easily. Like you have this sort of feeling inside you that you can't help but smile. Like that's great energy, and I love to see that Empress coming through like this. You're proud of yourself, I think, Libra. Like you feel this kind of courage paying off. Something has been, thank you Mars maybe, but something has been stirring up something within you, okay? And I don't know, some part of you decided like I may have to kind of realign my expectations in Libra season for a certain, I don't know, for a certain purpose that you thought you may have had. And this doesn't necessarily look like a relationship to me. It looks like more of a heartfelt desire that you just have to shift or change something. Eights are kind of transformation, so it can be changed in a way. It might not look exactly how you maybe imagined it, say when you were a kid or when you were younger, and that could apply to any area of life, right? Be it romance or be it career, whatever it is, situation that you find yourself in. You just kind of have to look again at what's possible. And then look, I love this version of the Eight of Wands, because Eight of Wands is all about the possibility of a new chance on something. It's like this gambling situation, like life is a gamble, like we take risks, and like this energy is very risk taking. Look, you made the risk by the looks of it. It looks like you pushed yourself out there towards something that is exciting for you, and you're passionate about this, it looks like. And it just seems like there is not a sadness attached to it, but there's like a letting go of something around this. And but you're not really that fussed, I don't think, because the other blessings are like so abundant and so obvious to you. There was just some sort of a like, I thought that this would have worked out differently. Kind of that kind of mulling over sort of a situation. That could be a little bit of this sort of kind of, if this is linked at all, like there might be just a kind of if this isn't linked to like this inner child work, or like perhaps coming up with some more like kind of things from your past at the end of the month, I would see this here like crying over the sort of spilt milk, which is pointless, as they say, on a kind of lighter note. So there you go. And it's like, look what else awaits. Like, I want to go through that archway, more so probably than wherever he's off to, but that's just me. So let's have a look at the Six of Pentacles, or Six of Coins, the Sun, Hermit in reverse here. So yeah, first of all, I kind of want to look at the sort of more blessings of this, and like the karmic rewards and debts have been settled. And I feel like that was around you, like, okay, like look, your soul was ready to take more of a chance of something, a bit of a leap of faith, something a bit more risky. It has paid off, but then I want to clear up the Hermit as a separate card, because that's interesting to me. So let's have a look. 10 of Cups. Okay, wow, beautiful. And Justice. So there was a transition of something from Virgo to Libra season. We have you here represented as your major Justice. Let me think about this. It looks pretty overall really good. Okay, so I think then the Hermit, the only negative I'm seeing with the Hermit is don't put too much of a delay on something that's ready to go, out of any kind of nitpickiness, and that can be a Virgo trait, okay, or like a Virgo in energy on the shadow reversal perhaps, okay. So like I guess there could be maybe a striving for perfection here that's like that it almost is. I'm like, just fucking do it. So the Wheel of Fortune's at the bottom of the deck, so overall I see it being like more opportune than not for you if when you go with this, or like it looks like it perhaps is already underway even. 10 of Cups. So some of the rewards you're seeing, like after you have been more bold in your undertakings here, are things like alignment with the partner, alignment more so with like your creative drive and like, you know, what you're putting out there creatively, even if it doesn't necessarily have to be an artist, but like what you spend your kind of focus on doing for yourself in a sense, or if you share your creations with others, that's great too. Then the Hermit reverse, like it looks like a debt's being settled, right? I have the Scales here kind of deciphering what's been given out. Okay, so you're getting your fair share. Justice upright is representing like a good outcome to whatever you're doing, especially if it involves anything like a contract or any sort of settlement that you're a part of in the courts, or any legal proceedings. That looks pretty good. There might have just been a delay on some sort of other mercurial aspect of this, like the processing, the dates, the incorrect communication or something like that through the Mercury retrograde. I don't really know, but that looks like that has turned out favorably, and it looks like, yeah, Justice card, something kind of big is aligning, I would say, or at least that the decisions that you've been making recently, kind of their consequences seem to have more opportunity for you than not. So that's really great. So you've been using your discernment a lot this Mercury retrograde in Libra, perhaps. You have been kind of following the astrology rules of not really kind of signing anything, or like, you know, really being definite about anything until the end of that, which is in a couple of days' time. So that's cool. So things might sort of be like a little more tangible or like kind of rational or logical after the Mercury retrograde in terms of anything contractually perhaps, but it overall looks really good. So let me then go to the first week in November. So we're in Scorpio season at this point, and something does look like it's there to be unearthed, something that you have reason to just not be able to relax fully around. Let me look at the Nine of Wands, the Five of Cups, and the Page of Cups now. Great. King of Wands and Three of Wands. It might be you summoning the power within and the magic within you. Magician here, so you are doing a lot of this. Could be self-healing more to a certain extent here, but it's possible that you're dealing with some sort of issue, maybe even with a paternal figure in your life. Maybe there's been some issue with authority in your life or somebody. It could like any sort of I don't know, representation of somebody that you do look up to, though. I don't see this as a bad, I see this more admiration here, and like, I don't know, something might be coming up about that for some, but overall, it seems like you're summoning the power within you to kind of move on from something at this point, and like, you kind of feel like you're ready to grow in a bigger way in this sort of area of your life, and something seems to still be holding you back emotionally, some sort of a tendency to kind of, I don't know, wall yourself in a little, maybe even like be a little bit, this is not really suspicious or anything, but it's like, feel like there's something kind of like creeping up on you, or like out to hit you to the post, basically. That could be some energy of that there. But overall, the power seems to come from your courage and in your undertakings. Like you might be leading people in a bigger way this month, or rather in November. But yeah, there's some work here to be done, and you seem excited to actually do it and grow from it. You're feeling very courageous about this. Like you feel prepared to perhaps go a little bit. This is actually Mars in Scorpio. Yeah, Five of Cups, Mars in Scorpio. We will have Mars in Scorpio also. Okay, so this might be giving you the drive then, that in Mars, when Mars is in Scorpio, that might be giving us the drive collectively to unearth something deeper on a psychological level. All right, okay, so that will be an interesting end of the month, but all in all, the strength of, like, you have so much strength going into this, and even the Magician card at the bottom of the deck is very affirming to me that you're willing this, like it's your decision, your responsibility, your manifestation, basically. You're not being pushed into this, you're in the driving seat, basically. Okay, Libra, I'm gonna have a love and relationship reading for you coming right out after this, where we'll just focus more on like the kind of theme of love and relationships in your life. If you're interested in personalized astrology and seeing what is left in store for the rest of the month, which for me, biggest thing would be maybe now the Aries full moon coming up. That's going to be opposite to your sign, Libra. There is a video on Libra season, a little bit of a note on like the flavor of Libra season this year and the sign itself. That's got a personalized astrology. That's under October astrology, Libra season, something like that, and it's on my YouTube if you want to go over and check it out and see how your month has gone. Did it reflect anything about the astrology to be true or valid? Take care, see you guys soon.